God is with you, and also to celebrate our victories and our joys together egameni lika Jesu Christ, and also inspire you ngamazwi ngezwi lenkosi elisuke lishunyayelwa khona la emsakazweni wethu. There's still so much in store. Dr. Suoane Msomi anako in store for us, and encourage you as it's still in the beginning infant stage. There's so much transformation and growth that you're still going to see. We are excited about what God is doing with Car Radio. We are excited about what God is doing with Suoane Msomi and Mount Zion Carnation Ministries. And God has always amazed us every day. Yazi masimila sikhona asazi ukuthi sifinyelele kanjani la if sibuka izinto esibhekana nazo empilweni. Ukumuzwe ke uandile kaMajola ethi nanoba niyangibona kuumusa kaNkulunkulu. Sisho njalo nje ukuthi nanoma niyasibona kuumusa kaNkulunkulu. Sizoya lapha ke kwi Queen of the Palace ethi ispotlight siphezu kwami sibe sesilindela abangani bethu baku Facebook ukuthi basijoyine sizothi nje ispotlight siphezu kwami siphezu kwami siphezu kwami. Yebo, yes, sisho kanjalo ke Queen of the Palace. Ithi spotlight siphezu kwami sisho njalo ke nathi as we sing the Queen of the Palace ukuthi yabona amehlo onke aphezu kwami. You know ke my spotlight siphezu kwakho, there is also a responsibility which comes with being famous, which comes with being noticed. There is a responsibility. Today we are going to be talking about reality versus expectation versus reality, because sometimes when people see abantu, like that's one of the example, ukuthi when sometimes we see abantu abadumile, we think ukuthi they have it all going, there are no challenges that they have to overcome. It's like smooth sailing. And then maseke usuyaba famous ke, and then you find out, was this what I wanted? Was this what I was looking for? Because sound yethu ingangeni, but we believe that all is well manje. So now isiyezwakala sesilungisile ke sound. Okay, angisazi nathi ngithini ke manje naku ke isound isisuke yangiphazamisa, kodwa ke asiqhubekeni ke manje sithe sizofunda i-quotation yethu. I-quotation yethu lapha is by Erica Berman. Ube men, kodwa ube ilowe berry, Berman. Erica Berman uthi you should always be learning. If you are the smartest, if you are the smartest person in the room, you are in the wrong place. But is it fun? Yeah, but we always want to shine. We want to always know more than the people esinabo. But laktiwa uma ngabe uhlakaniphe ngaphezulu kwabo bonke abantu nabo lapha endlini, you are in the wrong place. Go and find another place where you're going to be challenged, la kukhona khona abantu abazi kangcono kunawe, so that you will listen and grow, because they will talk and say things that you have never heard and challenge your way of thinking, because we need to always be learning. So look around at the people that you are surrounded with and check ukuthi, is it you who's clever than them? If that's the case, try and find other people who are more clever than you or wiser than you, smarter than you, so that you'll ensure that you always grow. But njoba kwi-COVID ke manje, maybe you can go even YouTube. YouTube has so many people that you can learn from ngenxa yokuthi versing the social distancing, but still ulwazi ligcwele. You can also read books and also learn from those people that have written incwadi zabo. Then another one from Tony Black Ledger. Black as black, mase kuba uledge as well ledger, but with no R. Tony Blackledge uthi humble person never stop learning. So if you are humble, if you're not proud in your heart, you'll always learn. You'll always learn even from the simple people. I remember Zolo ukuthi besikwi what is this Valentine dinner. And kukhona abazalwana bethi they are only 2 months emshadweni. They want to learn from those people like us asebekade sebengeni isikhathi eside emshadweni. And then Pastor Zulu did a comment engithandile wathi, you know what, just ukuthi na 2 months does not mean ukuthi mina ngaze ngakhuluma nawe. We are going to inspire each other. No 2 months wako, I'm going to be inspired, because sometimes if it's the same shadweni isikhathi eside, we tend to take granted our partner's age. But you who have just come in, you still have that fresh love nezinto enzenzayo ezi-inspire thina as older couples. So you know what, we learn from each other. So if we keep that humble spirit, you will learn even from the people that you think abana value abebenga-ede kuwena. That's just the mentality that we tend to have. But if you all keep your open hearts and a humble spirit, you'll find that there's so much that you can learn. Ujesu uzathi ngelinye ilanga if ningakhuluma amatshe azokhuluma, that means you know what, you can learn from izinto wena obuyitshela ukuthi hayikhuluma kodwa uthola ukuthi khona izinto amatshe angazisho, then mase wena usuyafunda amatshe adumise kangcono uNkulunkulu kunawe wena nomlomo ebekufanele ngabe wena odumisayo. So siyambonga uNkulunkulu ngama quotations ethu. And as we progress namhlanje sizobe sikhuluma about expectation versus reality. But before we go further, let us see ku Facebook wethu ukuthi ubani who is with us, and whether sinawo ama comments sithanda ukuthi sibingelele lana kulaba abasijoinile. Sinawo lapha Ntokozo Makhanya nezandla zakhe edumisayo nohangi lapha uthi great. We uthi there is no sound. Oh yeah, sesilungisileke indaba ye sound. Ngiyacabanga useku right. Nisazise ukuthi seniyasizwa yini guys, ukuze khona sizokwazi ukuthi sibe neshow ukuthi sikhuluma kahle kanye nani egameni lika Jesu. Amen. So now when we talk about expectation versus reality, I remember there are things that we draw in our head, and then we take those things as if they are real, and then masuthola ukuthi sesiyazenza reality zingamechi with what we have expected engqondweni zethu, then mase siba discouraged, sibe frustrated. I remember, I will give you examples of expectation versus reality. Expectation is something that you have in your head. Most of the time, expectation it's in, I will drive here and then I will go to Joburg and figure Joburg mo 5. And then you don't understand ukuthi kukhona ingqondo ingakutshela ukuthi kunama toll gates. Okay, if uswazi ukuthi ama toll gates, then okay usuya accommodate ama toll gates. But if umuntu obengazi khona ama toll gates khona la uzoma khona, then masusuya found out that no, you need to give yourself 6 hours ukuze ukwazi ukufinyelela eGoli. But in case there is no traffic endleleni, you'll find ukuthi you've given yourself 5 hours or 6 hours, boom, endleleni khona a traffic. That is reality. But the expectation obuna engqondweni yakho, it was something else, and then the reality becomes something else. And if you haven't accommodated for reality empilweni yakho, then you'll find ukuthi there will be frustrations as you go along the way. Like for instance, expectation versus reality will be ukuthi anomunaso nisithombe sami la ngifakwe khona makeup khona lokhoza Ntokozo, one of my beautiful pictures. So these pictures lawa esuke sipolishiwe kuzona ngizomsendela uNtokozo unkosi khona ezosifaka, but there are so many khona nalesi nkosi lesi sine program yami uthola ukuthi ngizama ukuthi ngithumelele uNkosi, uthola ukuthi Nkosi umuntu uzobuka lapha esithombeni, and then mase sengibona la mase sethi how akuyena lo muntu ekade ngimbona lapha yana esithombeni. Why? It's because the expectation ikutshela ukuthi nje ngihlale ngibukeka nginjalo all the time. But the truth is, this is me with no makeup, just me, but lesa sithombe lesiyana ukuze siphume sinje yana into ungosi uzosifaka kwathatha isikhathi nge-makeup iy'nwele zami zimiswa zikhelishwa and kwenziwa sure ukuthi uma seyikheliwe funa ihlale ngendlela e-right and ngiyakhumbula ukuthi umama komwendo who is my makeup artist uma ngenza ama-photoshoot was there to make sure ukuthi upowder lokhe ufakile. I think ngisho ukuthi mhlawumbe ithola ukuthi one session and then she will come back and then put on powder, but in reality ayinjalo. Reality, you don't wake up une makeup ekuseni. I know ukuthi most of the time we are conditioned by i-TV. Sibone labantu laba bavuka ekuseni bene lipstick embedeni, umuntu avuka oh yabona nje avuka umuntu ebubbly, avuka umuntu inwele intact, ubona ukuthi waze wamuhla umuntu mawuthi wena uyayibuka wena ayenzeki land and then frustration comes in. And then you don't understand ukuthi laphayana the time umuntu eshuthwa kusuke kunenqwaba yabantu echeck ukuthi are you acting this, is it real emehlweni abantu, are you convincing them ukuthi ulele ngempela yabona. If people kiss each other, are you convincing them ukuthi there is romance between you, are you not there is no element ukuthi you are just acting. So zonke lezo zinto needs ukuthi by ensure and umuntu obukayo thinks ukuthi reality but not knowing abantu baya actor. Another thing maybe we can highlight is when people cry mangabe act movie. Obviously that is why people make movies, so that they intrigue abantu babambi attention yabantu and then they exchange attention yabantu for ama movies abawakhile, and at the same time there's an exchange of money from mama advertisers. Then uthola ukuthi umuntu uzokhala akhale nje ukuthi usibanibani ushonile emovini, kanti umuntu uzenzela imali lapha yana kashonile. Upretendile ukuthi ushayisene emoto wazi ushayisile, yena usafe and sound, uyadla nabantwana bakhe nemfamily yakhe, wena ekhaya uyakhala ngoba ucabanga ukuthi ufile. That is what media has to do, noma ngithi ama movies, that is what they are there for, ukuze as intrigue, ukuze asi hypnotize, ukuze singene kuona siphile khona, but sigcine sesingazi ukuthi sigcine sengazi ukuthi akuyona i-fiction, kube sengazi ukuthi reality kanti akuyona. Ngiyangibona noma wami, she loves ama Indian movies, and when she watches wona uthole there is a lot of betrayal ke lapha kuma Indian movies, and then uthole sephatheke kabi, ahamba olala ebusuku axoxe ngalento le. Ngithi makodwa, do you remember ukuthi this is a fiction, it's not real, but now you are affecting umzimba wakho manje. Umzimba wakho does not know ukuthi ubuka i-fiction ngoba wena usuyithathele into wayenza yaba real. I remember ukuthi also when ubaba like uDr. Suoane Msomi ngabe ebuka ama movie, uyawathanda ke lama movie anqumana ikhanda, anqunywa amakhanda kudutshulwane, like graphic movies. And for me, I'm uncomfortable because there was this element kumina ukuthi labantu bayabulalana, labantu laba yabona is like chitheka igazi. Up until when I could see that I was suffering. I could not watch with him and enjoy the movie because I was telling myself, this is graphic, there is blood. Until I decided to tell myself, which, you know what, that's not blood, it's something that is made up. And also, those people are not killing. Yeah, it looks like killing, but they are not killing each other. They are acting kono, or lots of cards, and then action. When I told myself that, then I understood that I was able to be in control of my life, and then be able to watch even those graphic movies knowing ukuthi it's just a thought, it's not reality, it's just people acting and they are not dead, they are just making money. So now I just want also to encourage yourself. Okay, another example. In my mind, I had this perfect woman, mother, who's a superwoman who can do all things. It's like I wanted to be perfect esontweni and be this mama umfundisi owenza zonke izinto zenzeke, ngiphinde ngihambe ngekhaya ngifike ngipheke futhi ukudla okuhle yabona okuchamanayo, ngiphinde futhi ngiclean indlu ngalendlela leso ukuyibonayo. Ukubone lama movie TV othola ukuthi indlu ihlala clean all the time, ngiclean, ngivuke ekseni ngenza lunch box, ingane zami zi perfect, ama homework enziwe. in my head I had that picture, but in reality I couldn't fit all those things. And then behind in my subconscious mind kube khona lento ukuthi I'm a failure. Thabisile, this is what you want to do, but in real life you're not doing it. That means you're a failure. Up until my coach girl, which has said, Thabisile, I think you are expecting too much from yourself, something that even a superwoman cannot do. I know maybe you're super movies, but those are creative things. Is it really possible for you to wake up in the morning, go to church, be at work, come back, you cook that delicious meal, and then do your homework and clean your house and bake and clean and have a clean house? Is it possible to do that in one day? Maybe you can spread it out and be able to do it, but is it possible to do it as you see it in your mind? And then I think I realized nowhere in my lifetime I will be able to do that every day. So I had to make a reality real and give up the expectation that I was having. So then I realized that I have to delegate. I need to pay some other people to do those things for me, because they are important things that I need to do myself. Like for instance, to take care of izinto zasesontweni, take care izinto ze-business lami, those and take care of my children, like spending time with them. Those are important things. But like cleaning the house and doing ama-chores asendlini, those things they don't bring money in my life. But those are the things that makes impilo ikwazi ukuthi iqhubeke. So ezinye ngalula ukuthi ngiyidelegate. Like for instance, umyeni wami doesn't need to go ayokwenza igceke, because that is going to waste his time, because kunezinto ezibalekile kufanele azenze. Then we delegate that to someone else. We hire somebody ozokwazi ukuthi enze igceke. But in his mind, he can be this person owenza igceke, olungisa iroof, openda indlu, owenza yonke into, handyman, handyman, pastor, DJ, like a job essence in a media nje like haya, umuntu owenza media, all in one, of which that is not possible. And then we find people having a picture which, you know what, mase sengishadile kuzoba nje uLavi sizobambana ngokucicane, sihlale sihleli phansi kwesihlahla, yabona, even noma sengikhulelwe ngizoba yilo mama lona ongakhuluphali mase ngikhulelwe, yabona, ohlale islender. And then uyafika emshadweni, those things that you have in your head azikho, and then it causes a strife, it causes frustration, because you had another picture in your mind, but the reality is not giving you your picture ebikhona ekhanda lakho. So now we need to be real, guys. There are things that are like in a dream state in ngqondweni yakho that will never be real ngendlela oyidwebe ngayo. Sometimes ngiyengibone nami ngidance, ngiyadance engqondweni, ngidance, and then mase sengishuthiwe ivideo mase ngiyabona ukuthi hawu kanti ngidansa kanje, yabona. So in reality, this is how I dance. Then I have to fall in love with the way I dance. But engqondweni ngisuke ngiwashaya ama moves, even yabona no vosho ngisuke ngivoshoka. But in reality, now uyabona ke now in reality kwenzakalani. So now you need to adjust yourself, adjust your mind. Rather than be frustrated, accept the situation as it is. Accept where you are. Into wakufanele ngiyenze mina ukuthi ngibuke ukuthi impilweni yami I cannot be everything at once. Just to realize that, because I was deceiving myself in my mind, just to realize that, you know what, I'm doing great. I'm a good mom, I'm a good wife, and I'm helping my husband in a very beautiful way. Esontweni, it's amazing umsebenzi engiwenzayo. Then okunye I will delegate and I will get to it when I get to it. If ngingafinyeleli khona ngifinyeleli khona, but it's not gonna kill anyone. So is there an area in your life where you're having expectations, but they are different from reality? What adjustment are you going to do? What words or conversation that are you going to have with yourself to convince yourself to let go of izinto superficial and then stick to what you can do in that moment? So while you are thinking about that, we are going to go to Queen of the Palace ethi ngasondezwa duze nawe kimi nami kuwe. And then just think about that. Maybe you are frustrated in your life just because you want something that is impossible in this time. Maybe you are overweight like me and you want to lose 60 kgs in 1 month. That is not reality. That is just an expectation. Maybe you just need to give yourself a year to lose that 60 kgs. But if ngagenzeki, because maybe you are struggling with self-will, self-control, will, just love yourself where you are. Just love who you are, because whether you are big, whether you are small, but you are still that human being. And what counts is the way you look at yourself. When you look at yourself in the mirror and edit, I don't like what I see, then you will never go to a place where you are happy with yourself while you are not happy with yourself. So we've discussed that so many times. You are content, be happy, so that your body, your mind gets familiar with joy, and then when you get some results, you will also appreciate the results. But abanye bathi mina ngiyoba happy uma. And if you're saying that, you will never be happy. You just need to tell yourself, I am happy manje. I'm happy noma kwenzakalani empilweni yami. So sisaya Queen of the Palace ethi ngasondezwa.
Angikaze ngiluzwe Zana nawe ilo yami yakubuka kasondezwa duze nawe kimi nami kuwe ngasondezwa duze nawe kimi nami kuwe
yes, sisho kanjalo ngingasondeza eduze kwakho Jesu. Now weza give me 10 step. I just took one step and you Lord took 10 steps towards me. We are so grateful for the love of the Lord for our lives. So we are today talking about reality versus expectation, and we are deciding today to let go of the expectation that are not real and then accept reality as it is. At the same time, we are the children of faith. We need to walk by faith and call those things that are not as if they are. You need to be able to balance that out in your life. If you pay close attention to yourself and the conversation or your body, your mind, sometimes we neglect umzimba noma ukhuluma nathi. If you pay attention to your spirit, to your soul, to your body, actually you are the soul. If you pay attention to the spirit and the body, then you'll find a way to balance yourself out. Look at yourself in your home, in your relationships, where you have expectations that are causing you to suffer. Like for instance, masikhuluma nje sibuyele eBhayibhelini, abantwana baka-Israel, they left Egypt and they were supposed to go to Canaan, a journey that took 11 years, a journey that was supposed to take them 11 days. But they ended up wandering in the desert for 40 years. Why? It's because they had an expectation, and also there were things that they did not want to let go. They were disobedient. The Bible yasho ukuthi because of their disobedience, God made them to wander in the wilderness. God then told them, mawufunda lapha Numbers chapter 13 and 14, ngalesi sikhathi Moses sending spies to explore the land of Canaan, and when they returned, 10 spies said to the people they were too strong. Canaanites people were too strong and they could not go. The people believed these 10 spies and were afraid to go to the promised land like God commanded. And then only 2 said, you know what, this land has milk, honey, look at the grapes, look at what we are going to get if we go there. You know what, God has given us this land. But people decided to believe the majority, and then God told them that they will not go into the promised land for 40 years. All the adults alive at that time died before the Israelites entered the promised land, except the 2 good spies, that is Joshua and Caleb, who decided to believe God at his word, believing that we can do absolutely anything and everything if his God is on our side. These 2 men trusted God's promise and helped lead the next generation of Israelites into their new land, where God gave them their own nation called Israel. So now the question is, now am I expectation akho they are holding you back, and now is the time to let them go. Ukuthi watetela kanjani? You just need to realize, you know what, this is not real. Yabon, me waking up kungazi every day in the morning is not true. I have to wake up and bath myself and then put makeup on. And waking up, no, you have to clean, wake up and clean, and there's time involved there. Okay? And when you think ukuthi umshado has ukuthi uzenzekele wona kube mnandi, no, you need to work on it. There are things that you need to let go, and there are areas in your life that needs to die. And for relationship to last, there are times where you have frictions. That is part of life. Is to accept that life is a combination of good and bad. It's not only good, therefore, if it's good only, then there is no life. It's a combination of life and death. It's a combination of light and darkness. It's a combination of sowing, reaping, of uprooting. Jalo mawuzotshala kabusha funa lokhipha ukhula, and then masosuyajala. It's the combination of all that. You know, abantwana ba-Israel, when they were walking ehlane, if they knew better, if they wanted to shorten the days, and not having God ukuthi abatshela ukuthi nizohlala la ehlane, noma niyazi ukuthi nihlaniphile nina kodwa nizowandarisha la ehlane. Yes, khona abahlaniphile kunina abakwazi ukufigure out izinto, abakwazi ukusho ukuthi 1 + 1 is equal to bani. Uma kunjena kwenziwa ukuthi I'm going to block you, you will not be able to go to Canaan noma ku 11 days journey until everything that I want you to let go dies. But unfortunately, the whole generation died. But do we need to die so that we enter the land of the promise. We don't need to die like exit lo mhlaba, but we can die as uJesu eshilo wathi asife asiphanyeke inyama yethu esiphambalweni, unless a seed dies it will not harvest, it will not increase. So now ke manje transform your mind. Okay, maybe you need to take time by yourself and think about your life ukuthi ikuphi la kupete khona, iziphi izinto ofanele ukuthi uyidedele, ikuphi la uthatha khona ownership ukuthi yabona ke le ndima le idlalwe yimina ke le ndima le imini engenze njena, is not anybody else. Ngoba sometimes siyathanda ukulokhuza ukublame abanye abantu, siyathanda nje ukuthi it's because of sibanibani. But can you be able to say, you know, I'm accountable la, okay? I expected something which is not true, but the reality ile, but I believe ukuthi uNkulunkulu will fulfill my desires egameni lika Jesu. Today I was thinking and ngiyibuza nje ukuthi have you ever wanted, because sometimes ezinye izinto esiyifunayo are not the things that we want. So when I was having this time alone, being quiet in the morning, and then I'm thinking, you know what, sometimes we do want things that we don't want. Yabo uyifuna into uyifune for the rest of your life, uyifuna into uthi mawuse usuyitholile lento, and then you realize ukuthi akuyona lento ebengiyifuna mina, bengayifuni mina lento lena, kodwa usuyitholile mhlambe futhi usulahlekelwe ezinye izinto, walahlekelwa mhlambe nama relationship, walahlekelwa izinto ebeyivaluable kuwena, usuyinayo lento but usuya realize ukuthi this is not what I wanted. I thought I wanted this, but this is not what I wanted. And what do? Mawuse sekunjalo, you need to be accountable ukuthi you made that decision. Sometimes it's easy to blame abantu ukuthi ngize ngafinyelela la is because bekukuthi nokuthi osibanibani kanjani. No, you need to be accountable so that you give yourself opportunity ukuthi, you know what, I can turn this thing around. Okay? I remember nami ukuthi ngesikhathi ngisanalento lengqondweni yami ngifuna ukuba superwoman, then uthola ukuthi sengiwuso lo superwoman ke then sengiyacleana ke ngibe satisfied, and then I realize ukuthi okay, njengoba ngicleanile angisakwazanga ukuya lapha, sengifrustrated ke futhi manje ngithi yabo ngoba bengifuna ukuthi ngikwenze konke ngesikhathi esisodwa be, and then I had to choose ukuthi ngichoosani. Okay, engikwazi ukwenza mina into engenze kwangcono ukuthi, you know what, I do what is possible in the day and I'm okay with it. Because I used to be obsessed about izinto ofanele zibe nje, and ngibe frustrated even ney'ngane zami azingazenzanga izinto ngendlela engifuna ngayo, and then my relationship suffers. Ngase ngiyifundisa ukuthi, you know what, I'm okay the way I am, where I am. Mangabe ngikwazile ukucleana ngicleanile, mangakwazanga angikwazanga, mangiphekile yes, but mawenzekile ngabusy ngenza izinto eziningi ngathola ukuthi angikwazanga, then akekho ozoshona ukuthi ulale edla isinkwa namhlanje. Ngiyazi abantwana bami isikhathi ma awuphekanga sizodlani ngithi isinkwa sikhona, oh ma, but at the end of the day if kade ngibusy and these things were calling me ukuthi ngizenze, how was I supposed ukuthi ngiyisike part nendawo? But uma ungakwazanga ukwenza lokho, then you suffer, and kwesinye isikhathi abanye bethu bayisafarisha bona ngokucabanga ukuthi abanye abantu bacabanga ukuthi hawu ingane zami ke manje kuyabona. You know what, they will be strong, they will get over it. They also need to learn ukuthi, you know what, uma unezandla eziwu-2 nomzimba wodwa, and umama can only do this much, and umama kufanele ukuthi aphumule, uma kufanele angafeel guilty ukuthi uyaphumula. Sasa sizokhuluma about self-rejection, when somebody rejects him or herself because you haven't taught yourself ukuthi uzamkele. Yabo, and also lama expectation versus reality. When you have too much expectation, they root from ekutheni you want to please abantu, you want ukuthi ubukeke umuhle phambi kwamehla abantu, you even hide who you are. I remember there was a time where I woke up and then prepared for my children by esikoleni, and then I came back ngayizolo bengilale late, very late, and mangivuka vese isikhathi sesithe ukudlula ngo-30 minutes, then I had to rush. And then when I mase ngihambisile ingane esikoleni, there are people that I have to call and say ngenze counseling kanye nabo. So mase ngiqeda lapho And then I realized I just need to eat. I'm hungry. At the time, there was somebody who was supposed to come in the house. Kukhona lento le esenhlizweni yami uthi, you know what, cleaner masinyane, because lo muntu uzocabanga ukuthi what kind of a woman you are, mayizofika ezochecka lento azoyichecka afike ukuthi khona indawo engekho clean. And then I had ukuthi ngingenzi just because ngenzela lo muntu. You know what, I'm a human being. Akekho umuntu ongavuka vese yonke into perfect. Uyavuka then yonke into uyayilungisa. Okwamanje ngifuna ukudla ngoba ngilambile. I feel like ngifuna mayifika lo muntu, he will understand. Akayena uNkulunkulu wami. But if nganguthabisile waseqaleni, I will have like sacrificed myself ukuthi, you know what, I need a break. Okay, ngivukile ekseni vese ngilale late, ngivavuka ekseni. The truth is I cannot do everything at once. If efika lo muntu naye uyazi ukuthi umuntu, I don't have to hide anything. But most of the time, as human being, we want to hide izinto and make izinto zibe perfect, whereas they are just what they are. Yabona, afika umuntu, afika ngisazoclean ikamera lami ngoba into ebekufuna ayilungise sekamereni lami, but I was okay ukuthi angene understanding ukuthi I know ukuthi mina kwenzakalani empilweni yami. Wafika wayilungisa lento efanele bayilungise. No judgment, no condemnation whatsoever, because I know how to deal with myself. I know how to tell uThabisile ukuthi, you know Thabisile, you know what, you don't need to live for about and hide izinto kube sengazi ukuthi zi perfect zibe zingekho perfect. You know, when people take these pictures esiyibona ku Instagram na ku Facebook, especially labantu laba othola ukuthi bathi trader, investor kanjani, beshuthe ne bephambi kweimoto nemize emihle. Abanye babo they don't even own lezo imoto. Abanye babo they don't even own leyo mizi leyo. Bayahamba bayo make up, bahamba bayogqoka kahle, umuntu ayipresent, there is a makeup artist emilile emlungisayo, there is a professional photographer. They pay umuntu azobakhokhela masebeyoma kwesinye isikhathi umuntu ahirisha imoto maseseyoma phambi kwendlu or ayihirishe mase kuba sengakuthi leyo ndle yakhe kanti akuyona yakhe. And then when you end up being deceived by into fabricatiwe and you think it's reality but it's not reality. And then people come in, bakhombisa indlu yabo clean ecwebezelayo. Before kufika ama camera, there are people who come in and clean the room bayenze be perfect. And then also mina ngifuna ukuvuka indlu yami nje noma sengidlile ngifuna kuhlale nje noma udla upheka kuzongcola kwasho, but in your mind mawukuthi ufuna nje ukubona lela plate eselilihle azikho izitshe izongcola. That's a lie that you're telling yourself. After every cooking, there are dirty dishes that needs to be clean. There is a dirty house that needs to be clean. So you need to accept that in your life. Wazi ukuthi if you've been entertaining abantu, there's a cleaning afterwards. But they don't show us that. But so baskombisa, they're just the good part that once you go to be hooked, and then when I'm lapo, you think that life is all about that. Life is messy, life is beautiful, and that is what life is. So now, lungisa gege leo reality versus expectation in your life. You are the one who knows where you're standing. You are the one who needs to see ukuthi kupla ufuna clean khona empilweni yakho. And then start cleaning and start sorting yourself out. Don't be driven by expectation. They're going to kill you. They're going to rob you of the joy. And they are going to make you wander in the desert for 40 years. And you can just let go and enjoy life as it is. I remember I would be frustrated. Mangfige khona ngelinye ilanga, okay, let me do this example. Somebody speaks to me and say, you know, ngifika ekhaya, there's somebody ohlala ekhaya because I've accommodated them. So uyisihlobo. But mangifika ngaklinile. Mina ngibuye emsebenzini, ngibuye nezingane, kusafunda lengithi mangiyafika akaphekile akaklinile, and I get so frustrated ngale ndlela ukuthi ngidinwa and ngilose my sanity. You know what, you can choose to lose your sanity because the expectation yakho this person is going to cook and clean, but reality is this person hasn't cooked, this person hasn't cleaned. So if you're going to lose your sanity, who's going to be crazy, land? Who's going to lose peace here? When? So what can you do? What are the possible things that you can do? Number one is to put boundaries. You know what? Because I'm accommodating you in my house, this is what I'm expecting you to do. But when you speak to someone, especially if you tell somebody ukuthi enze something oqala nje mhlawumbe akatrainekile or wesibili mhlawumbe lo muntu uyivila, and if umtshela leyo nto leyo, you must expect ukuthi ungaba nesitha ohleli nasendlini. Okay, because that's another reality that we have. When we bring in people in our houses, we might be ukuthi ulethe umuntu ozoba isitha sakho ozokhuluma kabi ngawe, yabona ufuna wena ukuthi kube nendlela ophilwa ngayo la ekhaya umuntu angayimisela ukuphila kanjalo, and then masosoba isitha. It could be one thing is to put a boundary ukuthi if you don't do this, then you have to go. But sometimes because it's family, it's impossible and difficult to do those things, especially uma ngabe mhlambe, let's make an example, umuntu wakithi mhlambe lo umuntu frustratekile, mhlambe umuntu wamyeni wakho, ake ngenze example njengami, umuntu wakamyeni wami, and then ula ekhaya akafuna uklina, uyavilapha, ngiexpect ukuthi ngizosmangifika usephekile akwenzanga lokho, and then kuzoba nama dynamics ukuthi umyeni wami akafuna hambi ngoba mhlambe ubhuti wakhe mhlambe usisi wakhe. So uzohamba kanjani? So what do you do now when you want to put a boundary and then that boundary is going to cause a friction emshadweni wakho? Ngiyangithi mina ke the best thing is this, is to be at peace with the situation. If lo muntu bengekho ubuzokwenza njani? The only thing that makes you frustrated is that lo muntu khona and you have the expectation ngalo muntu lona ngoba ukhona. But how about you treat this person as if akekho? And then you tell yourself, mangifika ngiyayiklinela, mangifika ngiyapheka. Vese into bungavele ufanele uyenze le bekuthuhla la wedwa. So now when you tell your mind, whatever you tell your mind gets up and prepare yourself to do it. Which is saying, I've made up my mind, mangifike ekhaya ngene emabhodweni. I've made up my mind ukuthi ngiyazenzela. And when you do it like that, you remove the element of frustration. Guess what? Energy and power and willingness to master everything will be there. And guess what? When you do like that, and also when you are doing like that, you don't get frustrated and angry toward that person, because we have learned well enough about emotions that we don't allow anger, frustration, or to dwell for a long time in our bodies, because we know what that does. So now you just love that person as they are, as much as it is difficult. But when you stand where God is standing and you say, you know what, you're going to love this person, it will sort itself out. You'll find ukuthi lo muntu uzovela decide ukuyihambela. Okay? Or maybe there is a situation that will happen that will force that person to go. It's law. I know it happens because ngikubonile kwenzeka so many times wena uma la uNkulunkulu ekufanele ukuthi angenelele khona indaba yakho. And be at peace, akubone lo muntu joyful, awuthi uyafika, you are singing your song, you're changing your clothes and you're cooking and uyamphakela naye, angithi yabona adle mayingafuna ukudla akafuni, mayifuna uyivalela ekamereni uyayivalela. But when you are at peace, I'm telling you ukuthi when you are standing where God is standing, then things will sort themselves out. Okay. I don't know, maybe you can share with me what's another thing that you would like to share with me. Uhangila payana uti accept the situation that I'm currently on and find a way how will adapt myself with the reality that I'm facing. Exactly, Hangi. You just accept the situation and find a way to go forward, Laukon. And let me tell you, when you do that, there is no stuckness. There is motion. And then you'll reach your destination. And also, when you encompass joy and excitement while you're moving forward, God will only bless you in that journey. Abantwana baka Israel ended up wandering for 40 years just because they were murmuring, complaining, and fault finding. They were blaming God, blaming Moses, and God said, even though I want to give you abundance, even though I want to give you success, I cannot give you while your heart is like this. There are so many people who cannot go and enter the promised land just because they are holding in 20s but frustrated. So I'm asking you, let us come and join me, and then let us build this nation of people who are saying, you know what, we are joyful no matter what. We are choosing joy no matter what. UJoyce Meyer ugati konjithini theme kaJoyce Meyer and I sing balekela just because I want to talk about it, but he has come that we may enjoy life. uJesu uze ukuba enjoy uphila, and that is exactly how I want to live my life, to enjoy my life, even though izinto mhlambe ngidesire that I'm eager for, they haven't manifested, but I know I already have them, because empilweni yami nasengqondweni yami nasenhlizweni yami, I'm living there already. I'm aligned with those things already. So I want those people who will say, you know what, teach my expectation, withdrawing those expectations away. Whatever the situation, I'm making peace, I'm adapting to what the reality is, and I'm enjoying my life, and see what blessings are going to come in Pilwinzit. You see, Langi Corner, my life is so good. It's not that I'm not faced with challenges. Sometimes I'm being slapped in my face, and I say, oh God, what is this that is happening? And say, you know what, I'm in control of my life. Yes, my cheek is painful. I will rub it until it gets okay. You know what? But you know what? I'm the captain of my ship. Nobody's going to drive my ship for me. No one is going to drive my car. Whether a problem, whether umuntu engiphila naye, I am responsible, and I'm choosing joy every day. Sometimes there are difficult days. I remember when there was one day labantwana bami benama informals, benama homeworks, ziningi izinto ekufanele ngizenze, and at the time uphumzile ubengekho, ngigedwa nanti radio lana, ngithi yabo nanti sonto lana, and then it was a state of frustration. I had to tell my mind, you know what, Thabisile, you get over it, it's okay. It's just that there are so many things that you need to handle at the same time. It's not that wrong. There's nothing wrong here. This is life. And when I told myself that, I found myself in control, realizing lama informals, nama assignment azolula, and I will get over, and then I'm okay. And so I don't allow situations and circumstances to drive me crazy. I don't allow people's behavior and expectation and perception to drive me crazy. I am who I am. Moses says, I am who I am. You know what? I am who I am. I'm not going to allow anybody to dictate what I'm supposed to be. I am going to be what I am, aligned with what God wants me to be. And if you don't like it, sort it out. Mind your own business. Yeah, bon? So when we say it like this, it's like arrogance, but that's the truth. I am minding my own business. Now mind your own business. But when you're looking at another person, the only thing that you need to owe somebody else is love. Whether they owe you love or give you something else is their thing. But me, now, what I'm giving to you is love. What I'm giving to you is compassion. What I'm filling myself with is love and joy, compassion and gratitude. So, ukuthi omunye umuntu react kanjani is absolutely their responsibility. Yeah. So having said that, I guess hambeni siyelaphayana ku Queen of the Palace ethi ngiyakuthanda sithandwa sami. This is good and this is amazing. Practice it in your life and see what is going to happen. I know it's not going to be easy. If bantwana baka Israel, it costed them 40 years in the desert instead of 11 days, you can imagine how tough it is when you're coming out from bondage and you want to change your mindset, you change the way you do things. But you know what? It is what it is. It's up to you. You are calling the shots. Do you want things to be done differently? Just ditch those expectations and then deal with life as it is. And then take faith, put faith, shield of faith, and hold the shield of faith that quench every fiery darts of the enemy and say, I'm going forward because I know that I am protected. I'm going forward. I know that there will be fiery darts, but they are not going to touch me because faith is my shield. So, life is good. sophila phakade wami khululi wami ngiyakuthanda sono sami khululi wami sophila phakade Yebo, yes, Queen of the Palace. It's Thandwa Sami Ngiyakuthanda. This is a romantic song, yet spiritual song. It depends ukuthi utshela bani, udirecte bani. Yeah. So sikhuluma ke reality, expectation versus reality. I remember there is this movie on Netflix of intombazane. Enjalo mawayo uthini mayifika umawayo uvuka ekseni njalo afika azoyikama azoyi makeup masibuyele embedeni ifilele nesithandwa sayo is like isithandwa sayo sivuka ukuthi lo muntu muhle kanje noma kadele ngilele nayo indwela ihliphizekile and then this guy says you know what you are so perfect I can't marry you. You are just so perfect I cannot meet your standards. Ulala umuhle uvuka umuhle but mina no, I don't. And then she lost the relationship and then she realized ukuthi she was a bondage ngenxa yeinwele zakhe uma wakhe wanted everything to be perfect. She cut off her hair and uma wakhe waquleka. You know what? So this is so funny. Because you know what? There are things that are holding us hostages. We don't even realize that we are held hostage by our expectations that we have created in our minds. So sometimes you know what bengiba nalokho ukuthi you know fanele ngiqhamuke nginjena kubalaleli but the truth is reality this is me. This is me. I need to fall in love with the Thabisile uyena then realize lo munye umakeupiwe ngahlala for 1.5 hours ngi-makeup laphan and then every session mangishootha I need ukuthi makeup artist ibuye izongiphafa ubheka ukuthi akukho la. So that's not reality. Reality is that things will be messy, things will break, but it's okay. I'm still in love with myself. I'm still in love with life. And then you just need to make peace with that. Don't hide yourself. You know what, if uneyingane eziwu-2 and you want to get married, be proud of your children and everybody you meet must know ukuthi uneyingane eziwu-2 and mayekuthanda neyingane zakhe eziwu-2 then your love will be genuine. But you can decide to hide izinto and then suffer the consequences because you can get that relationship but when the iqiniso livela you can risk ektheni you lose that relationship altogether. Ngithi mina kumuntu you know what mangabe unetemper don't hide the temper and make this chilly davy soft person when you know ukuthi ubuye ube nameva. Allow the person to love you nameva akho ayidecidele umuntu ukuthi yazi ngiyongena kulawa meva ngiyawathanda the meva are cute. Ngithi yabona umuntu mayobamba irose ulibamba irose azi ukuthi khona meva and ulibamba carefully because wazi ukuthi angahlabe mayihlabeka futhi kodwa elifuna leya rose kanye yo kaze kwabhlungu laze la ngihlabiva esho elikhi rose yabona ngoba uthanda ubuhle be rose. So show your true colors and then whoever loves you will love you truly because they know all of you. No hiding of ourselves anymore. No making ourselves anything that we are not. Sometimes when we speak like this, people assume ukuthi si talkative no baba masesiphathi kwabantu. But obviously quiet ngikutshela, si quiet and we don't want to try and make ourselves something that we are not. If we don't have anything to say, we don't say anything. Masomunye siyaphatheka ukuthi how kanjani ngoba bayakhuluma lapha. Yes, we khuluma ngoba this is a position where I have to speak and I'm in control, but I don't try to make myself something that I'm not. Then people will have to love me the way I am and fall in love. Abanye bayathuka for the first time, but at the end they get used. Or goes, oh, Thabisile unjena. Oh, this is a kind, and then they will love me for who I am. Then I don't have to hide anything. So today, taking on my expectations, I just wish I do have something ebengayithola yabona eyiphepha lokho eyiphepha ebengizoyihlofoza yabona. We are taking our expectations and we are dishing them away as I'm about to say goodbye like nina manje. By the way, ufuna ngaba amabhuku seninawo ngifunda njalo iphepha elizorepresemblisha lento engifuna ukuyenza. Yeah. Nanti. Okay. These are expectations, okay? Whatever expectation that you have that are not real, we are throwing them away, and we are going to be who we are and declare with me, I am who I am, and what you see is what you get, and I'm in love with myself. Yes, reality, it's what it is, and I'm taking life by faith, going forward, knowing that everything has been taken care of. It's been nice spending time with you. Catherine Chinyudi, Kosinathi Nxumalo, Hangi Rolando, Sipho, and nabanye ngakwazi ukubabona ke since they are shared. Ngiyabona ukuthi kunamanye ama comments la engakwazi ukubona since okunye kusharishiwe. Angikwazi ukubona akuveli la kumina, but I see ukuthi nginawo amanye ama comments because iba ngicela ungilungisela lokho ze ngikwazi ukuthi ngicine ngibone nalawo amanye ama comments angavelile. But ngiyanithanda, I love you. Let us live a victorious life. We have all the tools that we need for impilo yethu ukuthi iqhubekele phambili. Swela namhlanje you can no longer blame anyone, but there is something that you can do ukuze impilo yakhe ibe yilokho kufunayo. Me checking out, sizophuma ke othi sibone ukuthi sizophuma ngobani. Sizophuma ngo Queen of the Palace. By the way, when we play Queen of the Palace like Facebook, it's because we're not allowed to kudlala amanye amaculo that are copyrighted, so we play our own songs. So sizophuma ngo Queen of the Palace esingiyinhloko angisiwona umsila ngengaphezulu ngikho ngaphansi. But now I feel like ngathi ngaba ne second version yaleli culo ngiyinhloko ngingaphezulu, singabe sayifaka lezi ezinye izinto ukuthi angikho ngaphansi. Yabo sithi ngiyabolekisa, sisho all these things that we want, and we don't even talk about these things esingayifuni, but siyazi ukuthi zikhona, but we put our attention kulezi zinto esifunayo ngoba where your attention goes, your energy goes, and those things get manifested in your life. Me ngintokazi ka Suoane Msomi, uThabisile Msomi, indodakazi ka Mandla Zondi benobabongile Zondi. Ngithi ke I'm checking out and I love you so much. Emva kwami ke kuzobe ngena ku Pastor Ntombiyezwe usekhona uyaviva lapha. Uyabona nje ufakile yabona uyaviva. Yeah, singiyangena. Masuka la sizoyezwini, and then go 3:00 uzobe sehlangana nathi ke sihlangana naye uPastor Ntombiyezwe efika namandla evutha ethi be egameni lika Jesu. Uyavutha yini lo mfundisi wesifazane? Uyavutha ke uzobe hleli nabantu abasha. We drive home show egameni lika Jesu. Ngiyinhloko angisiwona umsilo kwi Car Radio. See you next time.